The Fellowship of Guelphissauga continues, with the housing cost crisis and the not-so-permanent patio program. The Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, and StatsCan presented their new numbers this week on the housing cost crisis and the reasons for people living in Riverside Park. Meanwhile, the United Way attempted to get a cool $500,000 from the Corporation of the Shire to fund their last-minute projects. But the mayor didn't notice his European Inspired SimCity deteriorating as he got distracted by climate change and virtue signaling downtown. Can Carly of Klassen and the Elder Elves fix the housing cost crisis, and will the mayor do anything about the multiple crises at Riverside Park? The housing cost crisis heated up this week with the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, and StatsCan showing their numbers. Using the standard 30% of income measure of affordability, the CCPA calculated that the Shire's residents now require an hourly wage of $25 an hour to afford to live here. With minimum wage being far below that level, there are 0 neighborhoods in the Shire with affordable apartments for minimum wage workers. No wonder people have set up camp in Riverside Park and under the Hanlon Bridge. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation instead tracked our tax dollars going to the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. According to their website, the CMHC exists for a single reason: to make housing affordable for everyone in Canada. Using access to information requests, the Canadian Taxpayer Federation discovered that this Crown Corporation gave $27 million in bonuses last year. Their number of sunshine listers also increased by 27% between 2018 and 2022 to 931 people. But this was just fine, according to a new report from Statistics Canada. Their Municipal Quality of Life dashboard reported the Shire as having fewer people in poverty, more people with post-secondary education, and fewer people in need of things like affordable housing. Back at the Council of Elders chambers, the United Way made another last-minute request for $500,000. Facing a funding shortfall and an approaching deadline, the United Way asked the Corporation of the Shire for another cool $500,000 to support their housing projects. If they can't raise the money by August 15th, the campaign organizers acknowledge they don't have a backup plan for a 5-story, 32-unit project from Kindle Communities. They should have saved 10% of their income in a rainy day fund, like most people are supposed to do. I cannot in good faith support it, said Councillor Linda of Busuttil. Councillor Michelle of Richard also expressed her concern for the last-minute request. Right now, in good conscience, I can't support this because I feel like I'm making a blind decision. I don't know if there's other groups out there that could use this money. Is this the best use of our money? She said, alluding to the need to help the homeless people living in Riverside Park and those getting fed by Sir Edward of Bench. The Elder Elves use their experienced eyes to see through the United Way's pattern of behavior. They pointed out their trend of requesting urgent requests for funds with a tight deadline to act. Meanwhile, in the dining district downtown, the patio program expanded to become not so permanent. The Sunshine Listers convinced the Council of Elders to unanimously approve the patio program as a permanent initiative with extra annual funding. Participating businesses are now required to pay $659 per season, along with an additional $10 per square meter of public space used each month during the program. Brian Steele, owner of La Reina downtown, said his restaurant will no longer be participating in the patio program. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this patio. It does not make any financial sense, he said. No business owner would decide to do this. He explained that at the new rate of $10 per square meter per month, the cost of his restaurant would be $2,500 a month for 5 months, or $12,500 in total. Other Partytown businesses joined Brian's protest, such as Jimmy Jazz, Royal Electric Bar and Public Eatery, Western Hotel, Trapper's Alley, Frankenstein's, and McCabe's Iris Pub. A community poll on Cotton Guelph also showed that close to 40% of the 2,600 respondents did not support the permanent patio program. But the mayor didn't notice that his European Inspired SimCity was slowly falling apart. He was instead distracted by the future of climate change and virtue signaling in front of City Hall. On Tuesday evening, the Council of Elders approved Future Guelph, the Corporation of the Shire's 2024 to 2027 strategic plan. The plan includes a new focus on growth and all the supporting elements needed to make the Shire a more livable city. It also empowered the community to help fight and adapt to climate change. Climate change has been a growing concern for Mike of the Shriners with the regular summer heat waves and cool winter temperatures. Climate change hit Riverside Park hard this week with a huge tree getting knocked over. It happened to land exactly on the spot where the Bible pushers have been standing each day trying to help those people looking for their new family. The Corporation of the Shire hired workers to break down the tree and repair the broken fence. It's unknown if they donated the premium firewood to those living on the other side of the bridge in Riverside Park. The Shire's parks are also under scrutiny as the last affordable place to live for minimum wage earners. Released this week for public feedback, the updated draft of the Parks and Recreation Master Plan included 97 recommendations for the Council of Elders to consider. The recommendations include a focus on accessibility, park use, and the creation of additional facilities such as pickleball courts and skate parks. The parkland efforts have been impacted by targets and costs set by the Big Blue Orcs Bill 23. The citywide parkland target of 3.3 hectares per 1,000 people identified in the official plan will be impossible to meet using parkland dedication alone, the document reports. The report expects the property developer orcs to build 0.6 hectares of parkland per 1,000 people under Bill 23, down from 1.6 hectares. It also removed the Council of Elders' final say on what land is suitable for parks, allowing the property developer orcs to decide which portion of a site will be used for parkland. The developer orcs were also given the ability to count privately owned public spaces towards parkland dedication requirements. To avoid the troubles at Riverside Park, the mayor joined the Rotary Club downtown this weekend to bring awareness to the United Nations World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. Along with Ken Yi of Chu, he joined the Rotary Club to bring awareness to human trafficking occurring in the Shire by raising flags and promoting lawn signs. Our area is in the middle of the 401 corridor. This is where it happens, says the mayor in his virtue signaling speech. Human trafficking is a heinous crime, and Rotarian Linda of Maine at their flag-raising ceremony. It thrives in dark corners and shadows. It is our responsibility to shine a light on the abusers and users of human trafficking. Knowledge is the greatest prevention, she explained. The more we know, the more we can do. Taking their own advice, the Rotary Club should have been at Riverside Park where they can easily shine a light on human trafficking. Instead of raising a flag downtown, they should have been pointing out the chicken lover symbols painted all over the enabling gardens at Riverside Park. These symbols are commonly used by human traffickers to signal drop-off locations. Can Carly of Klassen and the Elder Elves fix the housing cost crisis? And will the mayor do anything about the multiple crises at Riverside Park? Stay tuned here to see.